24 or 257? 44.
You get some bad habits, so you keep fighting, you know? One more.
How you doing? So,
hi, this is Colin McEnroe. A little while ago, I recorded.
Leaving the range right now. The trip was interesting, let me tell you. So something happened to my 1911. I don't quite know what it is, but here's my guess. I was at the range, and on my first shots with the gun, I wanted to see how my barrel linkage was doing. My barrel linkage well, my barrel was actually riding a little high, and I was impacting a little low. It wasn't cycling really well, so I put a shorter linkage in there. I got a pack of 5 different heights. I put number 2, so the second shortest one. Here we go. We got a spot to pull out. I'm trying to drive and do this video at the same time. So anyway, the 1911, I brought some 9mm 124 grain plus B plus ammo, and I noticed one of my rounds, this was dumb by the way, but one of my rounds had a bit of bullet setback. So in order to kind of move this out, it was being shot in my USB compact a lot, and the USB compact had no issues with this. That gun is a tank, and I'm happy with it. But I said, you know what, I'll dispose of this by shooting it in the 1911. Dumb move. I got a picture, I cleaned it up, but I got a picture of what happened to my hand after the round was fired. I'm assuming the case ruptured. It definitely fired. It was a louder than normal bang. I believe the case ruptured, and the gun is now locked, only able to go slightly out of battery. The gun does not eject or extract. So I think the case is stuck inside the gun. I think that the rounds of 124 grain plus P plus buffalo bore that I've had for a couple of years, that I was carrying in the USB compact, and in a previous video I noticed they were tumbling and keyholing in targets, which means they weren't stabilizing properly. I think they are way too much. That kind of pressure pushing out of a 9mm. It works in my Glock 19C, but with what they've done out of not stabilizing properly out of a USB compact, with causing what I believe to be an ammo-related failure, maybe it was a part breakage, who knows, out of this 1911, I can't trust them anymore. So they're going away. And then the next part of this video is going to be me sitting at my workbench showing what happened to the 1911. I'm interested myself, so we'll see what's going on. You have to forgive me, my furnace just kicked on, but I got to get this video taken care of. So what we have right here is a case. I was at the range, and this guy, you know what? I can use a laser pointer. This guy decided to give up its ghost. So this is a rupture that happened inside my 1911. I was 4 rounds in, as you guys will see in the video. I was 4 rounds in, and the gun decided to, oh, there's a hair there. Gun decided to go. So, that's the back end of it. You can see that pretty well. I don't believe any damage happened to the gun itself. It was a hell of a kaboom, and you can just see the soot that's on here. It ruptured downward into the magazine well, blowing the magazine out of the gun. So that was impressive. It is significantly dirty. The extractor is all gummed up, and I had to bash the front of the gun up against a block of wood to get everything taken out. But everything looks like it's okay. Like I said, this is 4 rounds in, and yeah, I got a piece of a Q-tip here. You can see the crap just on the feed ramp, and this is completely clean when I got it in here. So it really had a very big pow inside the gun. Massive case rupture. This is a Buffalo Bore 124 grain plus P plus. I'll show you the round actually right now. There. So the camera is oddly propped up. See that last round? It's called bullet setback. Trying my best to do that. Can you see how far down that last round is? I had a couple of these that I'd loaded a handful of times. By loaded, I mean chambered a handful of times. And I don't know if it's the geometry of the bullet and how it's not like a parabolic top, but more of a conical with a truncated cone. But this round is significantly more set back than the others. What happens is you actually get an overpressure, and if you don't notice when you're loading it into the magazine, that overpressure can cause a case to rupture, just like this guy. So let's get this out of the way. So when you have that overpressure, it can rupture a case, and when a gun is not set up like a recoil spring, for example, to handle that kind of incredibly high pressure round, the ammo can slide the gun out of battery as it's still blowing up inside the barrel. I don't believe there's anything. Oh, there is something. I don't know if you can see it. I'll have to shine a flashlight down here. Conveniently, I have a flashlight. So inside that barrel, you can see a little shaving of metal. Man, that's so cool. That's where the round got shaven inside of there. So that's something that I'm very glad to still have my hands, but I should not have continued firing after the first one of those happened. All of these rounds are going to be thrown in the trash, especially that guy, and I'm really glad that I caught this and that it didn't cause any more damage than it did. You can see gunpowder residue even back by the ejector. Obviously there's some stuff on the barrel. The barrel's filthy. I mean, there were 4 rounds went through this gun. But yeah, I'm really glad that things didn't turn out any worse, and it looks like it didn't do any long-term damage to the gun. It did. Yeah, it looks like the slide rails are still good, but I'm going to clean this up and then do a continuation of this a little later, and then you can see what's up. Anyway, there. Public service announcement. Man, might have dinged up the barrel. Actually, right there, you can see right at the extractor, I might have dinged up the barrel. I might have to file that down a little. Anyway, public service announcement. Definitely don't use bullets that are set back in their case. Just inspect them before you put them in the magazine. And if you cycle around too many times into the same chamber, or different chambers, for example, if you cycle rounds into chambers and then out, it can cause this to happen.